positioned over here, buddy. All right. High five. Shake. Shake. See it? Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Other bridge. No, no, no. Hey, hey. This one. Over the fence. I didn't tell you to do that one. He did a different one. Okay. Come here. You're off the screen, buddy. Come here. Monty. Over the fence. You gotta come over here. Alright, we'll turn it over to him. Over the fence. Over the fence. Monty. Monty. Over the fence. Monty. You're not impressing anybody right now with that. Tinker. Over the fence. Over the fence. There we go. Because they're cats, not dogs. Okay. You jump to the hoop. Jump to it. In. 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 Okay. Monty. 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 Hey, up. We're saving the best for last. This isn't the last. Twirl. Twirl. Oh, he's still chewing on something. You okay? Are you choking on it? You okay? All right, ready for another one? Twirl. Let's try to get a really good angle on this one. This is his. Well, you guys made bets, I hope.
I'm always going to keep doing the possible inside the impossible. So, also, what I wanted to say is, I believe I have a constitutional right to be able to have the right to partner up as a civilian with my national security intelligence community to provide my personal private data as I see fit with whatever methods and capabilities I want to make sure my national intelligence community has no restrictions to be able to access, especially since I am sitting in a situation where I am being targeted with advanced persistent threat software by a local corrupt mafia that has abusing the local law enforcement systems, and they are contaminating the FBI files and everything else. So basically it's not even safe for people to probably even have the normal methods of a surveillance warrant being pulled, because of the fact that malicious entities, third-party access, have control over those databases and have been tampering with them, creating fake police reports, creating fake medical records, creating fake data. And so due to the cyber warfare situation that this is, it seems that the mafia, which are partnered up with cartel warlords and everything else, it seems like they want to try to prey upon the privacy rights or those kinds of things, to try to make it difficult for the federal government to be able to do their job. And they seem to misjudge one simple fact, is that I get to choose for myself, with my well-educated, deeply researched knowledge of what I understand, and I am very, very aware of how invasive it is for the methods that I am willing to give my national security intelligence. I'm willing to let Tulsi Gabbard have full access to my private data for Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, and obviously the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump. And I regret that I did not vote for him, but that does not mean that I am afraid to provide national security data, as all Americans should understand that we need to unite in times of domestic threats and stuff like that. And there should never be a reason to withhold crucial information from a federal agency for national security purposes, because that's what keeps all of us safer. I feel safer even though it's not an easy situation to volunteer and cooperate for, but that's how deep my devotion to patriotism for this country I was born in is. So I want to make sure that nobody in Congress or anything like that have any ways of trying to block the capabilities and methods of my Department of War and Pete Hegseth. Again, I give him full access to that same intelligence access, because I have been preyed upon maliciously by what is a racketeering mafia partnered up with cartels, warlords, and just organized crime rings, period. William H. Reynolds, my city administrator, I witnessed him intentionally damaging the gas lines in town, not just at one property, at multiple properties, in order to try to later then apply for a federal FEMA fire grant. But prior to that, and prior to my property being one of the ones that exposed him doing cover-ups at it, but I also tried to prevent, several days later, the gas line from getting hit about 5 blocks away from me on May 23rd. And I, have documented that evidence too. But ironically, prior to all of this, I had started giving a cartel informant report on May 19th, and basically I've been targeted ever since. I trusted the 4 pillars of policing locally because I had no idea that my local police and sheriff and an entity called Scale was basically one giant mafia crime ring partnered up with other counties and New Ulm entities and stuff like that. And I have currently people trying to take advantage of privacy laws that they, because I had an arson attack at my property besides, after I had done a police report on the 25th as well, exposing William H. Reynolds. But they're trying to take advantage of a system to see if they can withhold documents and emails. And actually, the police reports, the 911 calls, and the body camera footage and my own recording, they don't all match each other. And you can see malicious intent when you look at the timelines of everything. I was provided a fake investigator, and then they created a mental health document on it instead. And it's just like these things are insane. I had the county attorney completely violate his oath and endanger me further as well. And then I had the city attorney trying to hide illegal activities in a confidentiality letter that he wrote to me, trying to do investigation interference in the first place. That was right around the time that they were sending out malicious advanced persistent threat software to whistleblowers and witnesses, crime victims, informants, devices as well. And then also this was all forewarned because the IT manager had opened up a court case sometime at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, and then they revisited that again on October 1st in a county commissioners joint special session that completely exposed that there's been illegal activities of espionage going on and the abuse of this technology being weaponized against citizens and the federal government. And basically, it's Mark McNeill and William H. Reynolds, and then all of their corrupt law enforcement people that are involved in it, Luke Hennen as well. And then it's, you gotta understand the Hennens have they need a real deep dive into, they have a long history in this town as well. So, anyways, I have a constitutional right to provide the national security intelligence agencies of my United States federal government full access to my private data by my own voluntary will. That doesn't need to have to require some sort of surveillance warrant if they don't want to. I am a patriot, first and foremost. I prioritize national security above privacy rights because we live in an era in which cyber warfare is the biggest threat to every nation around the world. And regardless of who we voted for, we have to always resist having a divided country. We need to step up to the plate and support our federal leadership and his amazing cabinet of administrative secretaries and stuff like that. And so for me, I am not comfortable with anybody in the DEA having access to my private data, but I am comfortable with my United States president. And the reason that I am comfortable with that is because I saw how he treated Mom Dami when they had a meeting in his Oval Office, and he set the tone that he is a man who's the president of everybody, regardless of if they voted red or blue. I truly see, I see 47 as an evolved, he is really, he's not the same as 45. And part of my journey of seeing a better light of him is I don't watch the news that has news people telling me what I should think or believe, and instead I just started watching full speeches and letting the leaders and the secretaries and stuff like that having their words for themselves, speak for themselves, rather than some news agency's interpretations of it. And that changed everything for me. And I am here to be the person that voted, unfortunately, blue in 2024. And I say unfortunately because everybody I voted for, I ended up witnessing during 2025 committing violations of oath of office, criminal activities, cover-ups, and just the worst atrocities anybody could ever see. So I've had to learn the hard way that, it's been a really difficult year, honestly. But I will definitely not allow some sort of mafia organized crime ring prevent me and continue to prevent me from providing my national security intelligence community everything they need to know to keep this nation safe and have national security. So it's not cool that I have had my calls being rerouted and impersonators answering, and it's just insane. And then obviously the FBI report that I made on August 31st, having that leaked by scale or by the impersonators, if it was impersonators that intercepted the call to begin with. But there's a police report file stating that, with a TTY, that, she made a FBI report, and they literally leaked it to the very corrupt police department and the city administrator of that police department that I was reporting about doing the criminal activities. And so that's what I mean by everything that the IT person warned of, that he didn't want to give out the godlike access passwords to the third party cyber advisors, whatever, that Scott County is abusing the system of, and doing targeted operations against its own citizens, as well as obviously they're targeting and leaking information about the federal activities and operations that are going on in Minnesota at this time. And I am I am extremely proud of the fact that I get to be the person who knows and understands how a lot of the blue voters feel and worry about, because I had once worried those same fears at one point too. But I am here to set the example, to show that we need to be brave and we need to support our commander-in-chief. I prioritize national security above everything else. And there's nothing that can stop me from making sure that my president and his cabinet and administration have everything they need to keep this country safe, because that's what keeps me safe. And the only thing that has made me feel safe at this point in time is knowing the awesome capabilities and powers that my United States government has. And I have established SOS function protocols in order to make sure that I could be able to feel safe. But anyways, this is my official way of saying I have a constitutional right to provide my personal data to Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Hegseth, President Donald Trump, and FBI Director Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, and a very tight-knit group of cabinet officials in that direct administration that I want to be the person that voted blue in 2024 and show everybody we can trust our president to do the right things. And we need to. We need to. And I am proud of the fact that I get to be the example that shows people the way, that, you know, what the news tells you isn't reality. And I have gone out of my way to fully demonstrate with the research and deep dives that I've gone into that I am fully aware of what I am sacrificing in my personal privacy in order to do all that. But this is the thing, is if not me, who? I happen to be one of the few people bold enough and brave enough to do it. And I believe that my integrity and my the good person that I truly am will shine bright, and that we have to trust, we have to be united against adversarial threats, cartels, organized crime rings, warlords. We have to be. Like I said, I reported an informant report about Josh Luneburg in New Ulm, but also he has multiple addresses, Madison Lake or something like that as well. But I witnessed that he's part of an extended Ryan Wedding cartel criminal crime ring network, combined with the catalytic converter rings and the drug trafficking rings. And it was extremely sad for me to have to witness that my local sheriff's community and police in Shakopee are trying to shield and protect them by harming me. I've had so many death threats, and I've recorded the death threats. And I'm getting, some of the death threats that I've been getting are that they are going to grind me up in a meat grinder, like a pork processing plant. And that's sick, because Josh Luneburg is apparently friends with the son of one of the third or the fourth largest pork producing processing entities or whatever. And it's just sick. This stuff is sick, but nothing is more sick than the fact that Chief of Police in Shakopee and the Sheriff Luke Hennen and the SWAT team members, I was literally, they knew I was an FBI informant based on the paperwork that they had already had. and they stalked me into the United States Post Office after they overheard the United States Post Office trying to make a call from their federally protected building of making phone calls to the USPS Office of Inspector General for me to get an update on my case report, because all of my devices have been infected with this infected software, this supreme, it's like a hybrid Stuxnet, and I've found all the security certificates that show that it's malicious and it's hacker based, and then it automatically uploads itself onto anything it touches, so you can easily see what it's made out of, and that's got the key loggers and all that stuff. And so I want to make sure that my country is safe, because I have also been being targeted by they have gone to the worst extremes of who they've been partnering up with. Obviously, the cartel and the mafia. And when I say mafia, I mean mayors, local mayors with dead teeth, council members, commissioners, House representatives, PUC members, SPUC members, Keith Ellison. Not only Keith Ellison got emails from me, but many of his department people had as well, and but OAC and or OSA or whatever. I mean, it is insane what the malicious software that I was sent from public office holding entities, from their public emails. I was sent these malicious viruses from Peyton Somerville, Jesse Lara, and Jeff Tate, Bill Reynolds. And it's just, these people are sick. And the mafia numbers that are infected in office holding positions in Minnesota is about 200 plus. And not all cops are bad cops, but I've happened to expose that there are some very bad ones that are creating fake police reports. And with all the dead bodies that have been showing up in the past year, ever since the crackdown on the different drug rings has been going on over the last few years, it is what it is. So I proudly host the full capabilities of methods that my United States government, their military, their intelligence community are capable of in this SOS cyber warfare situation, in which it's already been fully provided with evidence in multiple in multiple ways, not just myself, that we have a serious concern of a very corrupted backdoor access, zero-day attacks, and obviously malicious mafia harming citizens and the federal government's operations that we need to deal with. And I don't want Congress to delay, impede, or try to interfere with what the intelligence community needs to do to access my data. I have a constitutional right to share that with them, especially in this cyber warfare hostage situation that I have found myself in, where I am having a very hard time getting communications to actually go out and go through. I mean, it's insane. My United States Post Office mail is being redirected and tampered with and all this stuff. It is what it is. And I think the mafia, they underestimated the power of a civilian and the civilian's capabilities of being in civilian partnerships with their most powerful entities in their nation. I know it's rare, but in the word impossible, you will find the word possible. I'm a patriot to the United States of America. And I hope more people recognize we need to have unity in this country.